Hello quilt friends, welcome to the Riley Blake Designs Virtual Quilt Market. We're glad you're here. I'm Heather Peterson and I am a fabric designer for Riley Blake, and I'm also a pattern designer under the name of Anchor's Treasures. So I've got something new and fun to share with you today, and that is my Market Street collection. So I've got my living room here set up with some of my quilts and some of the fabrics and stuff. I'm pretending this is my booth at Quilt Market. So this is the first time I've ever been able to have a fireplace in my booth. And that's kind of fun for something different. So what I want to do first is just show you some of the prints from the collection. So this is the storyboard that is going out to the shops, and your sales reps will have this to share with you. So it shows all the different prints and all the different colors. It shows the wide back that'll be going with the collection, and some of the patterns and kits and things that will be going with that collection once it hits stores. Now let's just show you a little close-up of the Fat Quarter bundle. So let's talk about the colors first. So these colors are inspired by Minnesota in the fall. So in the fall, the lakes turn especially blue, and all the leaves start turning. I mean, the whole world is colored all these vibrant sun-washed colors. And so these colors are easily taken from my surroundings and stuff around here in Minnesota. And the prints are inspired by some by my garden in the fall, because I always have some florals in my collections. But I also have a folder on my phone that's full of pictures that I've taken at different street markets. So for example, I have tons of pictures of tile floors. So I wanted to include some tiling prints in this collection. I also had a picture of a beaded curtain that I thought would make a beautiful binding stripe or a sashing print. There's also some different repeating patterns, some geometrics, all sorts of things that come from that little folder on my phone that are inspired by different street markets and little shopping days and things where I've seen things like that. So let's now take a closer look at the different prints from the collection, and then we're going to come back and talk about the new patterns that go with it. All right, let's take a closer look at the prints from the collection, and we're going to start with the main floral. This is the print that pulls all the colors together and includes usually a pretty cluster of flowers, because I love to draw and paint flowers. And this one comes in 3 colors. We have the tea rose, the teal, and the navy. And let's just show you a bigger piece of that. That way you can see how that floral is going to cut up, and you can see how those rose clusters are scattered across that print and what the scale is. All right, let's go on to the next one. We have the medium size floral, and this one comes in the gold, the tea rose, the green, and the berry. So here's a closer look at the berry one. You can see there's some dots and an assortment of flowers, and then my favorite being, see that little hexagon flower right there? Then let's talk about the medallion print. I love anything that repeats in a circular fashion like this. I always think they look so sophisticated. And this one comes in the green, the berry, and the navy. So let's give you a closer look at that. Next up is a little scattered floral. So you can see it comes in the navy and the teal, and here is the cream. So this is what I'm using as the background print for a lot of the patterns that I'll show you in a little bit. And you know, I love navy backgrounds, so the navy and the cream are the ones that I've used the most as the background. So we'll talk about that more in a little bit. Then we have just a little small scale floral in the berry and the teal and this kind of corally tone. So you can see it kind of has a little plaid detail in the background, and then some scattered little roses. And then this one is one of my favorites too. Again, I love tile or repeating patterns like this. Let's give you a close-up of the cream one. So this one works well for just your general piecing, but it also looks really pretty in a border or a binding or a sashing, anywhere where you can show off those fun repeating shapes. And let's get a closer look at the little hexagon print. I love hexagons, so I often have a lot of hexagons in my work. And this one comes in the peach and the green and the gold. And then I've got kind of your basic geometric. This kind of takes the place of a dot, but it pulls all the colors together, and it comes in quite a few colors. You can see there are 6 colorways to the little twinkly triangles print. And the navy one is also one that I use quite a bit for background. So we'll give you a closer look at that one. And then last of all, this one's kind of the showstopper of a piece from the collection that is most, I don't know, showy outside of the main floral, just because it's so graphic and it has all these colors that you can use to pull the collection together. And this one I love to use for binding and for sashing. It would also make a cool border. It comes in the cream and the navy, and then there's also the teal. There will also be a wide back for this collection. And this one was inspired by this print here from Indigo Garden, which was a collection of mine that came out a year and a half ago. But I wanted to do it on a larger scale for the background, or for the backing. So you can see here, this is the original scale, and then it's been blown way up. So it'll be a quite graphic print on the back of your quilts. And it comes in the navy, the tea rose, and the cream. All right, let's talk about the new patterns now that go with the collection. There will be 4, and we're gonna start with my favorite one. That is the Midnight Rose Garden pattern. And this, I think, is a special pattern and has a unique layout. So it took me a while to come up with this design and to get all the math to work out, but I'm happy to say now that it's finished, and it's just a beautiful and unique quilt. And you can make it either with the cream background or the navy background as shown on the cover here. And if you like the cream background one, Riley Blake is offering a box kit that will be available of that design coming in November. Now, if you feel like you love this rose block, but that big quilt is just a little bit too much to bite off for you, you can consider doing it in a table runner version. So there's going to be 2 different layouts for this, either a single rose version or the double rose version. So let me show you what that's going to look like. This is the double rose version in the navy background with the Market Street fabric. This one Riley Blake is also going to be offering a box kit on. So let me grab that and show you. It looks like that. Now I have that same design made up in the cream background with my Gingham Cottage collection, because I don't have enough of the Market Street yet to make all of the samples, but you can see what it looks like with the cream background. This is the size and scale of the runner, so it's an oversized runner, great for big tables or as a bed runner, hanging over a railing, or a small wall quilt. Now I also have the single rose version made with my Winter Wonder collection. So you can see how it incorporates the stem units from the big quilt in just a single rose. So both of those options will be in that Rose Garden Runner pattern when it comes out. Then let's talk about, let's get these in the right order here. Let's talk about the Sashiko Stars, which is this pattern over here. Now I love the simplicity of this pattern and the way that it shows off the prints in the collection. So this uses either fat 8ths or fat quarters. And I want to show you what inspired it. So do you see this print? This is from my Gingham Cottage collection, which is currently out. And I love this little chain connecting these stars. So I made kind of a simplified version of it and put it in this pattern. So there are 12 different size options for this one. You can do without the borders as shown here, or with the borders. And if you add the borders, then you get this fun little mirror image pattern happening with the stars along the outside edge. Okay, pattern number 4. It's called Slice and Dice. So this is a 10-inch stacker pattern, and you can either take those 10-inch blocks from the stacker and just cut them and sash them like I show here, or you can make a half square triangle block out of that 10-inch square first and then slice it apart and add the sashing. So I've got that one put together here. And when I've set out to design this pattern, my main thing that I wanted to show off in the pattern was that I used that stripe. And I mentioned earlier that I mainly use it for bindings, but it does look great cut up in the quilt. And you can see I've used it for my sashing here. So it's just a great way to show off that stripe print. So this one will also have a few different size options in the pattern as well. So all of those patterns will be available through Riley Blake or through myself if you have any questions on those. The fabric will be in stores in October, and it's available for pre-order right now for the quilt shops. If you are a quilter, now is the time to ask your local quilt shops to carry this for you, or you could possibly even pre-order some of the kits and patterns from them right now as well. If you need any more information, you can find me on Instagram at Angus Treasures or on the web at Angus Treasures.